we are going on understanding at the fourth level, and that is the fascia. Now, fascia is something which we have already a little bit discussed last time. So, as we saw, this is the fascia. This is the muscle which is here, and उसके ऊपर का ये जो covering है, that is your fascia. And if there are any knots, तो ये जो clear अभी एकदम transparent clear view दिख रहा है ना, उसमें you will be able to see the knots, when that crisscross. Can you see the knots here? These are the knots which are there on the fascia. Are you able to see? So these fibers, their orientations are in multi-directional, and जब भी वो उल्टा फुल्टा you use the muscle, or if the loading is not proper there, then you get the knots on the fascia. Okay, and that is what that's what is all our agenda. अभी ये जो fascia है, it is, as I said, it is throughout your body. It is throughout your body. There is no place where there is no fascia. But ये fascia जो है, that is there at multiple layers in our body. It's not कि ये जो देख रहे हो ये एक type का fascia है. But there are multiple layers in our body. So the fascia is at multiple layers. The first one what you can see is just over the muscles. ये जो अपन ने वहां पे फोटो में देखा था, it is exactly the same thing what you can see. So this we have opened the rhomboids, and वो rhomboids के यहाँ का जो muscle है वो अपन देख रहे हैं. So can you see this white color portion? What you are able to see is nothing but the fascia. Are you understanding this white color portion, the shiny one? And जैसे ही वो muscle move होगा, वो fascia भी move होता है. Now we will see that further in the video. That's the fascia what we are showing with a knife. Now just see this. Now as we pull the muscle, can you see the fascia moving? The fascia is going to be tightened, it's going to be loose, and that's how the mobility, it's going to give you the mobility of that particular joint, of that particular muscle, of that particular structure. And we want this fluidity of the fascia. So it's not only ऊपर से, it's at the skin के नीचे का fascia which is giving you trouble. Fascia, muscle and bone के connection में there is there, and over your all the organs. So in order to maintain the nice mobility, you need to maintain the mobility of this fascia, and that's the reason which, like, if you are following us on our Instagram, you will see that the athlete comes with a problem somewhere X, and we are working on the different area of the body, and then also the athlete is able to perform better. So for example, if there is an issue in the groin for any footballer, for example, we are going to work at the foot level, and that's how the athlete feels better at the groin. So why? How is that all connected? Multiple videos where I talk about treating my athletes, I talk this. Sometimes it's somewhere that this, when you remember, जब भी अपन ने level 1 किया था, that the athlete was running in this manner, and his was having the problem in this side ka knee, and we worked on this hand ka pull, in this way, and that's how it got connected, and he was able to run in a proper balanced manner. So what are all these things which we are targeting? It is the integration of these all structures, and especially I would say 80 to 90% of what we call as mobility and all of that is these fascial interlinkages. So understanding that is very, very critical. Today I'll be teaching you how to get that balance between the front of the body, the anterior chain, and the posterior chain, and how they are connected to each other, how we are balancing that, and how our lateral lines, so left side and right side, ye kaise balance ho rahe hain. We are not going into much details of the fascia because it becomes very overwhelming. वो इतने कम टाइम में नहीं खत्म होगा. So but at least how to balance that so that your athlete is in a better symmetrical position. तो उसके लिए we have to learn the superficial back line. That's the line that is the posterior kinetic chain, we can say. Superficial back line. We are talking about superficial front line. So they need to be balanced in order to keep your pelvis, keep your body in neutral position, keep your posture properly. And we need to have a good, nice lateral lines to keep the balance between your left and right together properly. Is that clear? समझ रहे हो? तो वो अभी अपन understand करते हैं कि how it goes. Again, today what I am showing is I'm showing on the proper athlete, on the human body. ये जब भी तुम लोग रिकॉर्डिंग मिलेगा, यू कैन गो ऑन द यूट्यूब, देयर विल बी मल्टीपल वीडियोस जहाँ पे वो मतलब बॉडी के अंदर क्या दिखेगा, मतलब ऑन द यूट्यूब you will be able to see it on the skeleton. But then I thought that is something which is very easily available. So I want when you are working with your clients, you should be able to see it on the client's body. So therefore, I have made the video in this manner. So I'll just show you, explaining you about the fascial lines. पहले एक बार अपन understand करते हैं about one fascial line, that's SBL, superficial back line. And then we will see its video. Okay. First. So this is superficial back line. First, let's understand this. ये जो pathway है, don't get this thing. ये pathway I will show you in the video. So we will not go on this pathway. Then what is the main function of the superficial back line? ये posteriorly रहता है अपने body में. It's behind you. So the main function of this is to maintain the posterior chain tension and the upright position, upright posture. So when we were monkeys in this manner, यहाँ से we became bipedal. We are on two legs is because of this superficial back line. Are you understanding? We were like this. यहाँ से we went into the bipedal individuals because of we are able to maintain that posture because of our superficial back line. Okay. It transmits force during hip extension and spinal extension. Okay. And if this gets shortened, if this gets limited, then we will have the forward head posture or the hamstring tightness or the lumbar stiffness and all of that. You know, so this is your shortened fascial line. Okay. Now, its overactivity may cause a chronic posterior chain tightness like your hamstring strain and your tendoachilles, Achilles tendinopathy. Achilles tendinopathy means your calf tendon जो रहता है उसका tendinopathy. So any pathology over here. So this is how your superficial back line is important. Now how does it look? Let me open it. So this is how the front line will go. ये जो front line है ना ये अपने plantar surface से जाती है. So if you can see, I am lifting her heel and heel के अंदर से I am putting this tape. So this tape is marking. This is what we said na, micropore tape you keep handy with you so you can understand when you're doing. So ये tape से I'll mark that superficial back line. So just see how I'm marking it here. Going from here in this manner, it goes over the calcaneum along the calf in this way. Then it goes through the hamstrings. So your hamstrings से ऐसे straight जाएगा till your ischial tuberosity. So where we are going? So we are going straight here till our ischial tuberosity. And from ischial tuberosity is your sit bone, huh, students? Yeah. Starting with the superficial back line. So we will just go with C tuberosity. The angulation changes. It goes from here, that is through the sacrotuberous ligament. It goes straight up to the erector spinae, muscles here in this way. And from there, take it here, from there it goes to the base of the skull in this way. So this is how the entire superficial backline goes on both the sides. So it comes closer at the sacrotuberous ligament, goes through the erectors till the neck, and from here the cranial fascia, which there it inserts into the extracranial fascia, and that's how in the front, if you will see, that entire fascia comes and joins at your temporals. So this is how the entire superficial back line comes in the contact. So any issues in this back line, if it gets tightened anywhere, here you will, if it gets tightened, you will sideways. If it gets tightened, you will get into the forward neck posture. Can you see this? So now she is in the forward neck posture. Can you see there is going to be a creases over here? Anywhere, most of the times, if we see the clients who are wearing the heels and having being in the normal अपना sports shoes also we have a heels. तो जब भी ये heels होता है, तो can you go into slight heels? Yeah, and you will see this everything gets shortened, and this gets pulled up, and that might result into the crouching of this. क्योंकि ये सब pulled up हो गया है, तो ये जो slack है, ये slack कहाँ पे आ जाएगा? Into your thoracic spine. So these are some variations which happens. Another way is when this gets tightened up completely. When this also gets tightened up, it's your posterior pelvic tilt which occurs, which results into the tightening of the entire posterior chain, and that is nothing but your superficial back line. Posterior pelvic tilt is the most commonest superficial backline tightness. Understood? जो कि बहुत significantly अपने को दिखता है. And anywhere, now if you can see, wearing the heels and having the forward neck posture is also connected. They are the two extreme parts of your body, but they are connected because that fascial chain goes like that. Or many a times you might hear that your clients must be saying that I get a tremendous headache, as if इधर पे कुछ तो ऐसे खींच रहा है, वो वाला sensation आ रहा है. So what is that? That is nothing but your superficial backline, because this exactly it goes and it inserts here. It's like that. And if they are in the forward head posture, if they are in this particular posture, imagine the amount of tension they feel. They feel that the head is becoming very heavy, and they are having those issues. They will have the issues in the traps as well. So that is nothing but they are all connected there. So if you start releasing and working on that, which will again we are able to see it further, then definitely the tension and the headaches and all of that vanishes off. Understood? So SBL is what? It is taking you back into that entire posterior chain, and it's putting you into a posterior pelvic tilt. Keep that thing in mind. So whenever there is a posterior pelvic tilt, this everything has got tightened up, and therefore, see, this is the pelvis, this has become this way. It has become this way, and therefore this hamstring and the glutes become shut down, the hamstring becomes tight, calf becomes tight, and all those issues will pop up. Type it together, posterior pelvic tilt. अभी अपन लिख रहे हैं. So this is because of the overworking of your SBL, okay? That's your superficial back line. This overworking of your SBL. So पहले we will go for release. So release. में अपन क्या क्या देंगे? Now this is how the person is standing here, and this is the pelvic tilt. What we are seeing. So glutes tight रहेंगे, hamstrings tight रहेंगे, calf tight रहेंगे. Everybody can visualize it, and hip flexors are already lengthened here. Okay. So these three guys are going to be tight. So what we are going to do is release में अपन क्या करेंगे? अपना piriformis release जो अपन ने level 1 में किया था वो करेंगे. Then we will do our glute का release with the massage stick or the muscle stick, whatever you have that. And उसका glute का release आ जाएगा. And then you are going to do the hamstring release also. Release and with the foam rolling or with the rod or whatever. Okay. Then second one, and also इसके फिर stretches also you can do. You can do your ham stretch, then your figure 4 stretch. ये जो अपने normal usual stretches रहते हैं glutes and hamstrings के, वो कर सकते हो इधर पे. Okay. Then comes your reposition. So reposition में अपन अभी hips पे फिर से work कर रहे हैं. So hip band mobilization here. Hip band mobilization. Then we are doing ankle mobilization because the calf is going to be tight, so the ankle might get restricted. So ankle mob करना है अपने को. Then we are going to do voodoo calf. Voodoo calf here. Okay, voodoo calf, and then hams calf also, hams voodoo also if needed. Voodoo for hams and calf. That's what we are going to do. And then we move into our restore phase. Sorry, restore phase. So restore में we are doing standing hip hinge अली आ रहा है. Standing hip hinge. These guys will have a bad time in doing the hip hinge, huh? So you have to put in a lot of effort in improving their hip hinge. Yeah. And then the last one is the loaded toe touch, LERI. These are your LERIs. Okay, like do it. लिखा सब लोग ने? Make a note of it. Then I'll change. Okay.